Welcome back to another episode of Who Should You Choose, the video series where I go through the prior videos, questions, and comments and help you with your HUT lineup decisions. Last episode, I asked you guys what would make a good event? Like, actually, what would you love to see every event? And I kind of came to the conclusion that I think that all 30 teams should, or 32 teams, I'm showing my age, should be represented. I think that if, just a recap real quick, I think that if there's an event, a Cornerstones event, all 32 teams should have an event item instead of getting the random ones all over the place. And maybe if you went back and looked, it might actually be pretty similar. But I think that if every team, let's take the Cornerstones event, got an 89 overall card, okay? And that would at least allow everyone to at least have a little bit of interest in the non-master set player items and not just be constant fodder that you're just trading in. But a lot of you guys came up with some good ideas. And again, if you're watching these videos or you're listening on your drive home or on your lunch, you're a real one. You're still into NHL in March. First of all, I appreciate everyone who watches my content all year round. But obviously, myself included, I'm down to like once or twice a week playing right now. It will go ramp back up. It's just because the launch of MLB has me obsessed. And it just is what it is. It'll fade a little bit, and MLB's honeymoon phase will die a little bit, and then NHL will come back a little bit more. But it's been a good time. But let's get into today's questions and comments and just kind of go over some of the ideas you guys had, because a lot of them were interesting. So we'll start first with Aho, who says, "Hey slaves, do you think this week's team of the week is the last one with 89 overall cards being used in sets to make it a 92? I mean, it would be April when the next Team of the Week comes out. I'm wondering if I could use my 89 Team of the Week cards to make Dobson, although the card isn't very interesting to me and would be in my third pair, since the 89 overall cards are probably useless if a 93 Team of the Week comes out." Yes, that is following the trend of what they're doing. That is what usually happens. When the next month ticks over, everything goes up +1, including Team of the Week. One of the worst parts about Team of the Week was when they made that change, because they eliminate all of the cards beforehand. The pathing is supposed to be, from my understanding, just from like what I think they're trying to do, is you do all the objectives and all that stuff, and you make, the 89s throughout, and then if you make the 92 every week, which is crazy, but like let's pretend we did all of the objectives and we work towards it, all the 92s, then when the Star of the Month comes out, you can then make a Star of the Month card, and then all of those Team of the Week cards are basically useless because then the next Team of the Week requires +1. I don't like that format at all. It's just so much, But yeah, honestly, they probably will be, other than being traded in for future events and things like that. Willie says, "For content, they should release cards that we use collectibles to obtain, like the good old days. And instead of trading in 292s for a 93, the objectives should be an evolution system ripped off of FIFA. The MSP overall is 90, let's say. So 500 hits with Redden, 100 perfect one-timer attempts with Redden, earn 300,000 XP with a team containing a cornerstone Redden, squad battles, rivals, champs, etc., etc. Each objective provides a 1 overall boost with specific stat boost. Passing stats all go up, for example, XP packs, event items, or MSP collectibles for future events. That then lock people into the grind, and the group reward for all objectives gives you a 93 Redden and at least a boost along the way. At least then you make the 90 and just play. Over time, by the time base MSPs are 93, you'll be on course for the 93 Redden. The issue so far is the B&D cards they gave us to be able to do objectives is a card nobody wants. The overall is too low, unless online and just not fun. At least we can get into, pick the MSP we want, upgrade, and away we go. If you want to skip the event, hey, no harm. You can still trade in for collectibles. 100%. 100% agree. One of the things I was so excited about at the launch of NHL 25, and I every year, guys, by the way, I do a couple of videos where I go back and I look at like my first few videos and, reflect, see how wrong or right I was and things like that. And, sometimes it's pretty hilarious. But this year was I saw the launch of the game, the XP path, dying for an XP path. It so underdelivered that it effectively killed anyone's interest in it, right? And just they had the collectible system for a while, but then they just changed it. B&Ds I was excited about because if you remember back, McDavid was the first one, really, the supercharge, and it gave you 2 back B&D, which is like, okay, they're using it correctly. And it just hasn't been that, right? And the weekly objective grind, sweet. We get a free card that we can use for a specific team. The issue with that is that there's 32 teams. So by that math, you're 32 weeks. That's over half the year before you get a card. And what if you had one of the cards at the launch of the game? I can't remember. The Sharks had Cody Cece, not even on the team anymore, right? So it doesn't even work for theme team items. It's just a extra waste of content, right? It's stuff to say they have stuff, much like what moments were before when they were offline challenges. Not that moments are much better, but offline challenges were like, these are the exact same for the last 7 years, but they're just there to say they're there, right? But I like the collectible format. It just allows freedom, and I would love to find a way to just upgrade the cards. They could just use a token system. They don't have the tech to use XP based on each card yet. Okay, let's be real, okay? So if you don't have that, then have us hit certain objectives by playing with the card, and we get a token, and then that token is used to upgrade, right? But if they can't make an XP system, which I doubt that they can with the tech available, I would love it if there was a ratio for online. Okay, so even in MLB, if you play online, you're getting XP towards the card because XP is in MLB for each individual card. So if you play online and score a goal, that's 4 goals compared to offline. Okay, and then that allows us to use the cards online. They started the year with play the way you want, and it just got so far and away from that. And I think that every time they release content, the one question should be, can they play any way they want? And if the answer is no, okay, then you got to add in things to make it that way, right? Like you just have to. And if they start doing that in that formula, content can really improve, in my opinion. The old Rivals Squad Battle Rewards needs to be in the XP path. This is one of the big problems of the XP path, because I remember when I got shown the XP path, we all did, there was no mention of the rewards, like of squad battles and rivals. We didn't know, and I don't even think they decided it yet. But when the game launched and there was no rivals or squad battle rewards, it was like, what? And what's crazy is I'm trying to figure out, because in reality, okay, one of the things that I've talked about for a while with the old Rivals format, where it was like, okay, hit a certain percentage. It was like, get into the top 15%, you get ultimate rewards. The problem with that is that the people that could play 50 games in a week always got 15%, and it just because it was based on them being able to play more. Hated that format. I always said, make it a win benchmark. 30 wins, okay? 50 games in a week. If you can win 5 more than you lose, sure, you get the ultimate rewards. They have that in the game. Here's the thing, though. Because it is a set amount and not a percentage, I feel like you never focused on how many games you actually had to win. You just played and played and played, and you could see yourself go into the next bracket of Rivals rewards. On top of that, the way Rivals and Squad Battles rewards worked, it was essentially forcing you to save everything for one big dopamine release. Like, if you think about it, the Rivals rewards aren't that bad. They give you tradable rewards, and the packs are by far the best. The competitive one is usually going to give you a purple. Again, not every time. They're not undefeated packs, but if you were to go back and look at a normal Rivals week where you got Ultimate in Division 3 or 2, dude, I'll be honest with you, I would maybe get a purple, like one. The rest was just 80 overalls, and it was like, But you got all these packs at once. It was a big dump. The way that the Rivals rewards works is like, okay, you don't get them all saved up for you, right? Everyone opens their pack, a lot of people, myself included, even though I should do a big pack opening video. I don't like pack opening videos, so I just open them as I play. You don't feel like you're getting as many rewards. Does that make sense? Like, they need to improve the rewards. Everything that's in the Rivals and Squad Battles path, like, honestly or in the objectives, should be in the XP path, which would mean the XP path needs to be like 500 tiers long, and just let us grind, man. If someone stays at home for 3 weeks and just plays this game, what is the harm? You could put a daily XP cap on it, or I don't think that's the way to go. You could put a weekly one on it, because I think if anyone goes over a weekly cap, that's you're going above and beyond. The reason why I don't think there should be a daily cap is like, what happens if, hey, your kids are out with your girl for a day, you got 5 or 6 hours to grind, but you hit the daily cap, so now you can't go. But you know what I'm saying? Like that would, it gets around the people that only have one day to play if you're off work, that kind of thing. So that's something to think about. Jacob, I came to the exact conclusion you did, Sleeves. Every event, every team. The way everybody that way everybody at the very least gets a card they should theoretically like from the event. Most people, however, would probably enjoy more than just their own team's card. I don't know how you choose which teams get MSPs. Maybe just cycle through the teams and start, then eventually only the best players or like players. I don't know, but definitely would appreciate a lot more Sabres cards in game. As of right now, the only decent Sabre cards are 2 MSPs on the year and 180 Thompson and 89 Darlene. Tage Thompson now, the really good Hut Champs card, though. Would really love a new updated Thompson MSP. That's actually funny. We technically got one in Hut Champs. Last card he got was a 90 team of the week. Dude's got 35 goals and 26 assists on a 40-goal pace. I think Matthews, Thompson, and a few other players have been massively snubbed. Thompson didn't even get a sharpshooter's card, and Def won't get a cornerstones or team of the season card, so I don't know. To think my Sabres theme team at the end of the year may not even include an amazing Tage Thompson is crazy. Last year I had 99 Tage and a 99 Matthews at the end. For whatever reason, there are certain players EA loves to make cards for, and others they just get snubbed this year, especially when we don't have Matthews or Thompson. And don't worry, we'll get more than 3 or 4 of the certain cards. It's wild. Ryan McLeod now getting a Warp Speed event card, if it was lower overall, is wild. He's very fast. True. I agree. I think that doing one, it's funny that you mentioned this because this was obviously done before the 91 Thompson was released, but still, I agree. Matthews getting like 3 cards all year. I get that he's not having a great year, but he is one of the most popular players for the most popular franchise, right? Like, there needs to be a way to regularly get the cards that you like. Honestly, what fixes this is a live series base cards. So, cards that go up and down, their base cards go up and down based on real life performance. It's so hard, though, because you've got 700 NHL players, right? Not including alumni. And you've got to, highlight them multiple times because progression is slowly. If progression goes up slowly, it's just, I don't know. It's a format that is set up for failure. I would like to see them incorporate the MLB The Show style team affinity program. Give everyone a decent chance at a card that isn't groundbreaking, but same overall, one player every team, and then choose to make the players they want or the ones they need. I agree. So team affinity, for anyone that does play MLB, it's basically like a program. You get an objective list. You work towards it by using cards from your favorite team. I'm a Boston Red Sox fan, so use Boston Red Sox, you get a bunch of rewards like their jerseys and other cards, lower overall Red Sox cards that you can put in your lineup and then speed up the process before you get to the 85 overall team Clay Buchholz card, right? And that's team affinity is a great content structure. And what's crazy is there's 30 of them. It's a long grind to get all 30, but you don't need to because they're all the same overall. You can pick and choose the ones you like and that you're interested in, and then you can slowly work towards them as well. But I just really like that. Any way that we can get theme teams, I desperately think that NHL needs to straight up copy the captain boost from MLB. And again, how that works is the way that you can fix and make theme teams in NHL and get out of this just like garbage. You got to have the best card because I play in Division 2 and all that is 5 Sharks on your roster and you've got the Logan Couture captain card. All Sharks on your team go up +1 overall. You have 10 Sharks on your team, all Sharks go up by 3 overall. You have 18 Sharks on your team, it goes up +5 overall. That keeps lower cards that you would not use if you were trying to play online available to stay in your lineup, and it should just be straight across the board. That needs to happen, and I think that would just go such a long way. The other way that you could do it, if you want to keep out giving out event cards, all the MSPs from every event, they are a captain for that specific event. So you make Wade Redden, okay? You put Wade Redden in your lineup. You've made Wade Redden, all right? Now, anytime that you put another Cornerstones event item in your lineup, +2 overall for those cards. So now if you have a couple 91s because you're trying to finish objectives or even 89s, now they're 91, right? You're more likely to actually use them. And I think that would be pretty solid. It'd be pretty solid. You'd see a ton of different teams. That's what has made the Gallery of Greats and the Warp Speed event so good. Not so much the Warp Speed event because everyone just made every card, but for the majority of the players, you had to pick and choose, and there wasn't okay, this card is clearly better than the other. You actually got to pick, and you saw some different players, like Yzerman and Messier, for example. So, content. Each event should release at least one player from every team. For reference, I build a Panthers team. I find myself only adding cards every couple of weeks. Yeah, I think 100%. Brent Seabrook's card was amazing in the wild card draft for me. The only issue after Team of the Year and Warp Speed is every spot on my roster is kind of spoken for. At this point, I think I have 3 different rosters just to get the use of everything coming out and not feel locked behind certain events. This is what I talk about when I say I hate Team of the Year, right? I understand Team of the Year is a sick event and it's hyped. And honestly, without Team of the Year, it'd be one less event where everyone is just kind of locked in. And I don't think that's good for the game. However, the reason why I dislike Team of the Year is because everyone saves. First of all, everyone knows it's coming, but everyone saves up all their stuff. They don't take part in events and all those things like that. Team of the Year comes and you've got 5 cards locked in your lineup or 6, and you're just like, okay, that's 6 spots out of 20 that I'm just like done with. You know, you put in a couple of fantasy cards, they're stuck in there. For myself specifically, I've got Team of the Year Makar and Pareko. That means I have a spot for 1 right-handed defenseman for the rest of the year, right? And that's a major issue with those events, is that they're just like there, right? 1,000% love the idea of franchise every team. Would be amazing, especially as a Flames fan. There's been a lot of teams that haven't gotten any love. I bought 88 Shara for 500K as soon as his card was released. He's still my captain on a 92 overall team. I made 4 holos using 79s because I like the players I got. Before the 91 Ovi, I bought Ovi Milestone for 500K as soon as the card was released. I used 87s and 88s for Seabrook because I wanted free truculence. Have I lost out on a couple of million coins potentially since launch? Probably, but I don't care. If one of my favorite players has a new card out, I'm getting it. It's a great feeling to play the game carefree and not worry about fodder and events. Makes the game more enjoyable than consistently making a new team every week. This is, as I get older and the longer that I've played this game, right? I understand where, like, this is what I always tell everyone, okay? That you know you're playing the game because you have, I don't want to call it an addiction because that just sounds so over the top, but you are playing it because it is simply a habit that you have created that is so hard to remove, just like everything else. If you're playing online, okay, or even squad battles, let's say, and you ever find yourself ready, this chair is my second. Last year, I literally broke my zip chair. Not because I threw it in like some blind rage, but I legit had my armrest and I just dad tomahawk chopped as hard as I could one day in Hut Champs because I was just not playing well. Snapped the thing clean off. I sat there and I'm like, that's embarrassing. And I looked at the game and I was just like, this shouldn't be how it is. It's a video game. I didn't do it on stream. I'll never do it on stream. But I just got up, closed the consoles, like that was it. And then this year, I legitimately, every time I get to a point where I'm like, time to go play Civilization, or time to go play MLB, or Tarkov, or go for a walk. Like, that's just it. So if you ever find yourself like that, that specific emotion means that you are so wrapped up on what you're doing that you're not just playing it to escape the stresses of life. And again, I don't mean to be super over the top, but again, I've got a little bit of an older audience, and I like it talking about this kind of stuff. But if you ever, video games are legitimately just meant to escape the normal stresses of life. You had a long day at work, you're sick, you're not feeling well. You come home and you're just like, hey, I'm gonna play a couple games of hockey. My team's not playing. But if you're doing it because you have to get the cards to keep up, then you're just going back to work. Because when you get those cards, do you feel like, yeah, I did it? It's like, okay, what's the next thing to go after? Oh, it's not good. LOL event sucks. I don't even care. But then there you are in Hut Champs, 20 games on the weekend, 10, 15 games in Rivals to get your Rivals rewards, and you're just not enjoying it. That it's hard to acknowledge and realize, but that's what's happening. And it's something that I've really been trying. So I push the play with the cards you like way more now. And even I'm still not there. Like, if you notice, like, I took Macklin out of my lineup simply because I play in a division high enough where I will lose more if I don't have a better team, and I realize that. But every time there's a shark that comes out, like an MSP, I'm not getting rid of them. I'm making them, not getting rid of them, right? So something to keep in mind, and I think that a lot of people should definitely take part in that. There's one more question. Okay, this killed me. I'm not sure, but it looks like you have something stuck to your camera, bro. Every time I would record a video for the last month, I would look over, I'm looking at it right now, and I would see this black mark right here, and then I would forget about it and not mention it. I would forget about it, and then I would come on and do the next video, and I would completely forget again. So I appreciate that. Dude, the replies had me dying. It's been like that the last 4 episodes. I don't see anything. I noticed a few nights ago and thought I was super baked. I noticed it while watching it at work on my big monitor. It was literally because the PNG for my overlay, I whatever I was using an old one and I had to go and Photoshop it out. It was just a messed up thing on my PNG. So I apologize. I took care of it, and there we go. So a bit more of a lighthearted episode. I just want to go over your comments on what makes a good event and things like that. I think it's a fun discussion, especially this time of the year, because we're just spitballing back and forth. It's also launch of opening day for MLB, and my Niagara Ice Dogs are back in the playoffs against the Barrie Colts for the first time in 6 years. It's going to be an ugly series, but next year, my man Kevin is going to take the Ice Dogs to the promised land. But nonetheless, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.